Good day, everyone. This is Pineleaf and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, we are broadcasting on July 4th, so you might hear explosions in the background. It is not the start of the zombie apocalypse, at least that I'm aware of. It's just my crazy neighbor shooting fireworks.
All right, then.
Could be the zombie apocalypse, though. You never know.
And I presume those neighbors delayed us in getting started then.
Well, that's a long story.
Then let's head in and see what the news is for today, where I believe there isn't much going on, probably because of holidays and all that stuff, but we do have a chronicle.
We do, and it actually came out Wednesday of this week because, as we said, today's July 4th, so nobody is in the office, and I understood Cordovan right. I don't think anybody will be in the office on Friday either, so.
All right. Well, that probably is probably typical for that type of place. And the cover photo is, I would presume that's a ship in Sharn Harbor.
I would assume as well it kind of looks Sharnish. I
I
actually
don't know.
haven't seen that ship, but I'm guessing you are correct.
Well, it's hard for me to tell whether a ship looks Sharnish or not, considering that usually when I see a Sharn ship, it's up in the air.
that's very true too. But yeah, I think that is Sharn though. But
All right.
anyway, yeah, no really game news, and we just have our sales, which we'll talk about when we normally do. We do have some community spotlights though. The yeah. Try that again. The High Lords over on Sarlona have added the Titan Raid to their public raid schedule, and that's to help get the community favor for falconry. The next public event will be July 8th. Click over and get more information about that. And the third annual DDO fashion competition is now going on until July 19th. So put on your best outfit, head over to the forums, enter it, and you might win.
No, I won't win.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not very fashionable at all. Now, if they're doing ugliest, I might stand a chance for that. But we'll see. Jumping into our fan site news section, we got a shout out for our episode last week, Goals and Fails. The great crossbow build from Dia D. Reaper Con Hyberman. Close enough. Raids Week 129 from Mickey's Delirium. Bard Life, of course, with Mr. Doug Glendower. Can we gear up a monk? Click over to watch him gear up that monk. Sundays with Alex and Lynn. And we have a D&D night on DDO stream. I screw that up every week, and I don't know why. Was episode number 12 of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Won't spoil it. Another fun-filled episode with those stinky dwarves and me, the most awesomest cool drow ever.
Awesomest cool drow.
Why I'm hanging out with a bunch of dwarves, other than I was promised money, that's probably why I'm hanging out with a bunch of dwarves.
You were promised money.
I was, but see, the dwarves are starting to like me though. They're shining up to the old drow, so. Plus, they like my roguish skills that I bring to the table.
Well, yes, that's always useful.
And then, of course, we have our chronicle comment. And that is, what happens when you get a sky sled wet? And that is kind of hard to say.
When you get a sky sled wet, what happened? Let's see. Well, I suppose you could create a really interesting surfboard.
Good answer. I'm just going to say, whatever is under the sky sled, people are going to think it's raining.
Well, I suppose that's also likely.
And, of course, we have our screenshot of the week, and that is Learhen dispatches a mighty champion beholder in the 422nd DDO screenshot of the week. And that is from Psycho Blonde. You got the winning screenshot. That is one scary looking beholder, but of course they all are.
Yeah, there is no such thing as a cute. Well, maybe some of those beholder pets I occasionally see tagging around people when those might be cute, but it's very much stretching the definition of cute even in that case.
Yes, it is. And welcome Sam Burke to the chat. He's saying he has heard Red Moon role playing, which I must say I am not familiar with them. They are also running through the Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and they have a very unusual adventuring party themselves. 2 snake men and a rat man. That's interesting. You got snakes and rats together, but I'll have to check that show out.
Snakes and rats? That's a weird combination.
That is a weird combination. I will check that show out, Sam.
Then let's go and head into our store sales, where I heard that the summer sales have arrived.
As they always do. This week, 35% off White Plume Mountain bonus items. So that's pretty sweet. 50% off the Half Orc Race if you don't have that yet. 50% off the Shared Bank Space. That is now through July 11th. So once again, if you're not kind of familiar, if you're new to DDO, the summer sales come around this time every year, run all through July. Some good stuff is on sale for the week, and then next week we'll get a new summer sale. So if you see something, you need to grab it because it's only on sale for a week. And it's usually stuff like this that's at a pretty decent discount. And this kickoff week is no different. We also have our regular store sales, which is the bigger is better. That's 20% off Gold Seal Elixirs of Sovereign Healing times 100.
Whee!
Ooh, that is a lot of healing. Superior spell point potions, also times 100. That is a lot of spell point power. Sovereign Guild Renowned Elixirs, 25 of those. And the Colossal Ingredient and Augment Bags, also at 20% off in our DDO store through July 11th as well. The weekly coupon going to get you a Remove Negative Level potion, 5 of those. Neg Level is the coupon code this week, July 11th for that, conveniently as well.
Sometimes I wish you could take those superior spell point potions and give them to your hireling.
Yeah, it would be helpful, especially with some of the hirelings we run.
Yeah. Oh, hello. We are about to head into a very important fight just before the next shrine. It's going to be a tough fight, and guess who has no spell power left?
But I was doing good things for you, though. Were you really?
Yeah, I had to use that comment fall
Yeah,
against
exactly.
that single kobold that we were fighting just there.
Yeah, that's our hirelings, folks. Gotta love
That's
them.
our hirelings. Then let's go and head into our site news, where we're going to have a update on how the begging is going.
Yay, everybody's favorite section of the show where I talk about how I want money. Yay. I know, people, I know. 27 more days and you won't hear me talk about this anymore. That's because there's 27 days to Gen Con. Holy crap, Pineleaf, there's 27 days to Gen Con.
Yeah.
Craziness. We are at 125 of our $600 goal. So I do appreciate the $125. It's going to go. Actually, that will almost cover my parking. So that is amazing. My parking is now paid for almost.
Your parking
Almost.
is expensive in Indiana.
It's very expensive. Yes, it's going to cost me $150 to park for 4 days.
Crazy indeed.
So yes, still time to jump on that GoFundMe and help out our Gen Con coverage. We are gearing up for it. Schedule's filling up. I've got lots of interviews scheduled. We're going to have so many Gen Con videos this year. We're going to have more than we've ever had. So it's exciting. We're actually going to talk to a bunch of new companies we've never talked to before, too. So that's exciting as well. But if you like what we do for our convention coverage and you feel like helping out, head over to DDO Players, check out the GoFundMe, and help out. As I said, my parking is almost paid for. That's exciting because that's the one thing I was worried about, because that was going to take a big chunk of the money I had budgeted for Gen Con out of my own money. So I'm excited that my parking is almost covered. You don't know what that means to me.
That you can park. That means you can hold the interviews in the parking lot, right?
You know, with the amount of money I'm having to pay for parking, I just might do that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Then let's go and see what's on the tabletop. Where Kenny G keeping its Saxy board game coming from BG Creative.
Okay.
Keeping it sexy?
Okay, let's just... All right, for the people watching the YouTube version of this, you might want to listen to the audio version of this week, because when this news came out, Pineleaf and I were kind of discussing it as we were playing Monday night. And Pineleaf, our good friend Pineleaf here, of course, knows nothing of pop culture. This, if you listen to this podcast, this does not shock you at all. Yes. Our good buddy Pineleaf here didn't understand why this was so odd and funny. Because why, Pineleaf? Why didn't you understand this board game?
Why didn't I understand it? Well, other than not really knowing anything about said musician, there's also the question is, well, why do you need a board game about it?
Yes, okay. Number one, the world did not need a Kenny G board game. But number two, let's talk about how you don't know who the heck Kenny G is. So, just for Pineleaf and just for the podcast audience only, because if I put this on YouTube, we're going to get a copyright strike. Instead of rickrolling you, Pineleaf, I'm going to Kenny G. Hey, Drac here in post, just for the YouTube version of this. There is no Kenny G audio playing here due to we didn't want to get a copyright strike. Sorry. Sam Brick says, Kenny G makes me think of two things. In Wayne's World 2, you find out that Garth's dentist listens to Kenny G while repairing cavities. And that Kenny G is Katy Perry's uncle in the music video last Friday night. Two more things. Pineleaf has no freaking idea what I just said, which makes it even funnier.
Yes, like, why did they need a Wayne's World 2?
Oh, them are fighting words, Pineleaf. Oh.
I'd have to say, a sphincter says what? What? A sphincter says what? What? Exactly.
Address any hate mail at podcast@DDO Players to Pineleaf specifically for that comment, folks. Thank you. But yes, back to let's keep it Saxy here, Pineleaf. Big G Creative, they are the brain power behind the Bob Ross Art of Chill board game and the Brady Bunch board game. So that tells you all that you need to know. This is based on the daily trials in the life of world-renowned saxophonist and superstar to the world, Kenny G. Keeping It Sexy will arrive later this week. Actually, it's already out now. This is exclusive to Target stores. In the game, you are going to have to collect and trade cards to unleash the power of smooth jazz to keep Kenny G in the groove throughout his daily trials that he runs through. Everything from a series of setbacks will face our beloved Kenny G in this game. He might lose his wallet. He might break a sax reed. There might be a traffic jam. And he needs your help with the smooth jazz to help him through his day.
find his fair reads.
Yes, folks. I'm not kidding. This is not April Fool's. This is a serious game. Keeping it Saxy from Big G Creative. It's in Target stores now. It is exclusive to Target stores. So if you would want to buy this, and may God have mercy on your soul if you do, you're going to have to go to Target or Target.com to get it. But I got nothing. I don't know what to say. I don't, why did we need this? Over on our Facebook page, a Mr. Jerry Snook, no idea who that guy is, commented on our post on this, and he says, literally, everything is a board game IP, thanks to crowdfunding. You know, it's like all those bad 60s through the 80s mainstream TV board games taught us nothing. I agree, Mr. Snook. I agree. I think we have literally jumped the shark here.
We had jumped the shark, or has the board gaming industry?
The board gaming industry has jumped the shark. Though we might have jumped the shark by me playing Kenny G on the show, too. Maybe.
Well.
So then again, if you want to buy this game, don't know why you would. It's in Target stores now. I don't know if we're going to get a review of this. I assume we will because we got reviews of all their other stuff. So may God have mercy on my soul if I have to play this. My friend, I know you're out there because I know you listen to the podcast. I'm going to subject you to the Kenny G game if I have to review this. I will have whiskey and beer, I promise, to help us through the Kenny G board game.
Oh boy. Moving on then, and let's see what's on the screen.
Speaking of jumping the shark.
Yes, this is definitely jumping the shark. A Ticket to Ride reality show is in the works. What, are people going to be trying to travel all over the place across the country or something, or what?
That's exactly what the TV show is going to be. The iconic board game publisher, Days of Wonder, and their parent company, Asmodee, through their entertainment division, and Propgate Entertainment, are developing this television show based around the Ticket to Ride board game. What they say people are going to do in this game is teams of competitors are going to travel around the world to seek to compete epic challenges and rack up the most miles by air, land, and sea. Again, kind of like our previous conversation. Why? Why? You know, we kind of already have a TV show called The Amazing Race that does this. So it's not based off a Ticket to Ride, though. So I guess that's what's making... I don't know. Yeah, when I got this press release from Asmodee, I was just like, really?
Yeah.
So if you're excited about this, there's been no platform for where this is going to air and any announced air date as well. But we will be sure to tell you when you too can check out the Days of Wonder Asmodee Entertainment Ticket to Ride television show. Yes, the shark has been jumped many times, I think.
I see. Yes.
I'm kind of excited that you even get that reference. So there is some pop culture that you can get. Oh, Sam Brick nailed it. He said if Kenny G, this is like the Kenny G show today. If Kenny G was a vampire in the World of Darkness clans, he would be a Toreador. He would, sir. Very much so. And now that I think about it, maybe he is. Ooh, see, now that puts Kenny G in a whole different light.
Okay.
Don't make me play Kenny G again, Pineleaf.
No. It was just, I guess, because back from my years of when I was doing the stuff for Wizards, and so therefore familiar with Jihad and all that when it came out. And then when you're, I they never used the word World of Darkness, so therefore it took me a while to say World of Darkness.
Oh.
Took me for a little moment there. Yeah.
But it's like, I'm so confused. Oh, now I know what you're talking about. But no, going back to, you actually know the Jump the Shark reference. I'm impressed that your limited pop culture references got that joke at least.
At least I got that joke.
Because I was afraid I was going to have to explain that to you. So well played to you, sir, for understanding that.
For understanding about jumping the shark, even though, of course, do you know how many people have actually referenced that over the years? Let's head into our weekend gaming. And Drac, what were you up to?
Waterdeep Dragon Heist episode number 12. Yeah, that's all I did this week. Besides what I did with you. I had another one of my weird weeks.
Another one of your weird
You know, one of these days I'm going to play a video game. One of these days I'm going to play some tabletop games, and it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
When that day comes, I shall relish that day when I actually have time to do something other than adulting.
One day I will. Yeah, someday I shall. Yes, someday I shall have a game played, but this is not the day.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, so Pineleaf, what did you do in your thousands of hours that you spend doing stuff? Which I still don't understand how you find time. But this week you actually didn't do a lot, so.
All right, we'll just begin with what I did with you, where we went and continued our ventures into the cogs. And we also ran a few instances in there. We ran Smash and Burn, where, of course, we went in there smashing and burning and trying to find the final special. Getting that last special package is, or say destroying that last one, is always the tricky one, finding them all. So we managed to smash them all and finish that instance. Then Ruinous Schemes. Then after Ruinous Schemes, we then did a rerun of the Wraith Callers to see if we could get a little bit more XP so that we can get closer to level 16. We didn't quite make it, but working on, we have a homework assignment. Hopefully Dracula remember that, where we're trying to get to level 16 by Monday.
Yeah, we'll see how bad I fail at that. I mean, yeah, I'm going to get that done.
Anyway, so that means that I did also do some more cog stuff in order to try to get a few more points in there. And I think I got about halfway up through the last bubbles. So I'm hoping that by the time Monday rolls along, I should be able to get to 16 in there.
So
Yes.
we're recording this on Thursday.
Yes.
So I have until Monday to get this done.
Right.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yep.
Just, I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what can I do to get some experience real quick? I have some ideas.
Well, let's see. It depends whether or not you have a bank vault full of XP pills.
That was part of my idea, because I do. So that'll help a little bit. But I think I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I checked my vault to see how many XP pills I had. I had one pill for 300. And on my Dragonborn, I ran the first of the Part 2 quest, which is called No Refunds. And what exactly that means, I'm not going to talk about that too much because Drac hasn't had a chance to run it yet. So hopefully we'll have a chance to run it on Monday.
Yeah, this is so weird because usually I run all this stuff before you do, and like this whole Sharn run that we're doing is totally opposite. You're running everything before me, so it's this whole thing is like blowing my mind.
We are backwards this time around. Then in tabletop apps, I did play some Aeon's End, And in this run through that I was running on this, I think it was the first time I've managed to win without my mage getting exhausted when playing a single mage on there. Now, I had only, I think, 2 hit points left, but I wasn't exhausted. And then in Minecraft, I had another mage rage where I was going on, as usual, finding a couple of things quickly, finding a couple of things underground relatively slowly, and then spending the last 30 minutes running around like a crazed chicken, finding this one last little item that has been evading my attempts to find it all along. But I managed to finish it. We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Dracula_72, and Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles. And you can follow Drac on Twitch @Dracula_72, where we are currently running DDO, Sharn, Heaven, and Hell with my Asamar and Dracula's Tiefling. Do you know me? Or have you met me, I think is
That's
what you
right.
said.
Have you even met me?
Have you even met? Right. The Players Alliance has 2 shows each week. On Thursdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. And on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Locha Players News. And you can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.